And we're live
And we're live. We're back, folks. Welcome back to another episode
of Niggers R Us.
You remember? You know what the idea you told me about yesterday?
Which one?
The one where you said we should make that troll video.
Yes.
The irony of that is literally the day before that. You know, old girl, the one that wanted to do the live with me.
Mm-hmm.
She had hit me up and told me I've been recommending people for y'all and stuff because y'all actually know what y'all talking about. Y'all don't make rage bait videos and all.
Fuck.
And as soon as you told me that shit, I was like, ooh.
It's not like we're lying that because we're trolling.
No, I have a distinct
honestly
difference between just blatant trolling and saying shit like Sasuke could beat Zoro in a just sword fight.
Yeah, like my thing is, if it's just swords, no powers, no hockey, Zoro is still a fucking problem.
This nigga Sasuke ain't get a sword into Shippuden. This nigga Zoro was fighting with swords since 5.
Yeah, facts. Facts. And his ability was purely Sharingan.
Exactly. Like after rewatching the Chunin exams, I was like, he learned Chidori from Kakashi by watching it. He learned how to move as fast as Rock Lee did by watching it. But if he didn't have those eyes, he would not be that nigga.
So I always had that question. Did he learn, because he didn't watch Rock Lee.
He didn't watch.
But do you think that he learned it from Kakashi?
That's what I'm imagining. He learned it from Kakashi. I know he didn't watch Rock Lee when he had the weights off, but he did observe him when they were fighting. That being said, I'm imagining Kakashi must have told him or showed him something from what Kakashi saw during that fight.
Yeah,
and passed it along to Sasuke.
Yeah, because I remember when he went to fight against Gaara, somebody said that his speed was on, like his movement or his speed was something of Rock Lee's.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that Kakashi mimicked it, showed a little bit of it, and then Sasuke just built up his stamina to be able to withstand it.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, so it kind of makes sense why Rock Lee kind of didn't elevate as much on Shippuden because, you know, people are all moving at this speed now. So that speed, the speed looks slow now. Not slow, but just regular.
It's going to be another one of them these people who argue that talent always outdoes hard work until the talent refuses to work hard.
Yeah, eventually, but Sasuke did work hard.
Yes, he did. Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Just like Naruto. Naruto had talent, but we just didn't notice it, and then his talent was hard work.
Which is, I was literally about to transition to saying that I just watched the arc where him and Jiraiya had to go get Tsunade, and he was training to learn the Rasengan. He did that in a month. Jiraiya told him blatantly it took the 4th Hokage 2 years to learn and master this technique, create this technique. Naruto learned and mastered it in a month.
But that's
don't get me wrong, it was because I'm sure the second Hokage had to learn what worked with what in order to formulate the jutsu properly. So Naruto already had the blueprint right there for him to learn how to do it. Mm-hmm. But it's still S-rank jutsu. Everybody was saying, wait. This jutsu is probably the second hardest jutsu to learn. This kid mastered it in a month.
Well, that's just like Kage Bushin no Jutsu. That's a Kage level jutsu he knows.
That boy
it wasn't like Bushin no Jutsu that everybody else uses. His is Kage Bushin.
That boy is talented.
So I actually correlate the two as in like the 4th Hokage creating the Rasengan and Naruto learning it quick as the same as Professor Aizawa with the scarves and then teaching that one kid who could brainwash. If you answer this question, it's the same thing because everybody was like, well, it took you this long to do that. He was like, well, I taught myself. I created this.
Yeah.
He's going to get it because he's learning from the person that created. Same as 4th Hokage. I'm pretty sure Jiraiya perfected the Rasengan quicker than 2 years.
Probably.
Naruto probably did it faster than Jiraiya, so that's still impressive for Naruto.
It's extreme. And I love like we always say Naruto is the type that never gives up. But in those moments when you see him training, you see the doubt he has sometimes. Mm-hmm. And you see how quickly he recovers from it. Yeah. He'll have moments of like, this feels impossible. How the fuck am I supposed to do this? He'll lay there for 5 seconds like, well, got to get back to it.
Like, you can see how well thought out he thinks of stuff. It's very simplistic when we look at it, but he thinks about what he has to do next. Like he thought
using two hands for it and then using a clone for it from watching a cat play with a ball.
Yeah.
That boy, like, shit just clicks for him like that.
That level of observation and being able to apply it is just as good.
Like, we always think Naruto is dumb, but when it really comes down to it, that boy will think, and he is exceptionally creative.
It's just not like profound thinking, but
No, not at all. But
yeah,
it's a genius to the creativity of it, is what it is. Like, you don't see people who are extremely creative as genius all the time, but if you actually observe it, that level of creativity is genius. Mm-hmm. You don't, some of the greatest minds ever won't be that creative. They just remember a lot of shit, like 2 + 2.
Yeah, like every person I feel like on the show who had something, like one thing, like Shikamaru, like he had the shadow. He figured out so many different uses for it. And now he was using shadows to throw kunais. He used it for bombs. He knew how to extend it in different ways. Like in the tuning exam when he used the hole, I never would have thought about that.
At all. And he actually, what he did was use the kunai to make that shadow, but the entire time all of that was a fucking distraction just to get her to move back to the hole.
Yeah, that's just like how when I can't remember who my guy was teaching, but he was just like, okay, I bet you I can make you do a fucking jumping right kick for the 60th move. And then they started sparring, and then what the 60th move was a jumping right kick. He was just like, no, he said, if you are able to understand your martial art or your skill, all you have to do is manipulate the opponent to be able to go in that direction. That's the same thing Shikamaru did. He was like, well, my plan to do this is to get that person by using the hole to use my shadow. I have to make this hole not relevant to you. So now I got to put everything in place.
By putting a whole lot of distractions to make you think I'm trying something one way, when in actuality, I'm just trying to get you to move where I need you to.
Yeah, and it was genius. Brilliant.
That's why that nigga was a master shoji player.
Now, out of the 4 main characters in Hunter x Hunter, who do you think was the best strategist? Leorio is 4th.
Leorio, we're going to talk about the Hunter exam, but Leorio had a moment during that exam when he actually was smart, when he was about to drop that dude off the fucking ledge of the ring.
Yeah, that was smart.
It was smart, but outside of that, we got to remember that kid is a kid. He's still a teenager. He's not an adult.
He looked like a fucking adult.
But I want to say it has to be between Killua and Kurapika. I want to say Killua.
You know, I kind of would put more at that moment at Kurapika, and it's in the Hunter exam.
During the Hunter exam, for sure, he was calling everything that was going to happen, especially when Leorio was in the ring.
Yeah, Leorio, and I love...
He called out everything that happened.
Actually, I'm not going to go into that because we're going to further talk about that later, because we've actually seen the entire show. We're going to break doan the Hunter exam right now.
Or the entire Hunter exam.
Yeah, because we're going to break down the Hunter exam right now. But I was about to say, like, Kurapika's thought process, let me stop right there. The writer's thought process on creating Nin. Now, when it came to Gon and Leorio, it made sense for them to be what they were, because they were more like just straight to the point type people.
Yes.
So it made sense for them to have that Nin that they had. But I'm not going to go into that right now.
I'm so curious what Kurapika would have been if he didn't make that contract the way he did. What would he have done with his Nin?
I think he'd have been like an emitter.
I could see that.
I think he would have been an emitter. Yo, but real shit though, I've watched the Hunter exam multiple times, and it's so crazy. From episode 1, the Hunter exam was happening.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that. Like, it starts off with a nigga sitting in a tree fishing.
I like that. I guess we're here now. I like that his aunt.
I'm sorry, I got to pick this up right quick.
Okay. Piccolo's not the strongest, but he is still my favorite character in the show.
Yeah.
That nigga just dispatched to handle the gremlins.
Bruh, all day, bruh.
That's it.
Even when on the Garlic Jr. movie, when the movie started off with this nigga getting banked by 3 niggas. It's crazy, bro. I'm not even lying. You see all the little promotions on who helped make this movie, and then you just see 3 niggas beating the shit out of Piccolo, and then they think they killed him. When Piccolo showed back up and that fucking music dropped, because first off, Krillin showed up, and Krillin had a little spot, and they was like, yeah, it's Krillin. Then Piccolo came in, and that music changed. Boom, doo, 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 doo. And this nigga just came out looking smooth as a bitch. And he was just like, let me get my one. Like, bro.
It's so fucked up for Piccolo being the big bad, final bad in Dragon Ball. They did him dirty in Dragon Ball Z.
They did him dirty, but it made sense to a certain degree. But when I tell you, bro, he was just like, all right, let's mix these niggas up. Goku, you get 2, I get 1. What? That's not fair. But and then he beat, and it wasn't even a close fight. He fought that nigga 1-on-1 and dog walked him. He literally beat him up. He literally boosted up his arm to have a fucking All Might arm, punched him into the fucking wall. And what did he say? He said, I told y'all niggas, none of y'all can beat me 1-on-1. Killed him and then went to help Goku.
He just wanted his moment real quick.
With armor on. This nigga had burdens and beat your ass. Crazy work.
He had burdens until this weighs heavy on my shoulders.
It's crazy because he beat the shit out of all. Like, they lined these niggas up, beat them, beat Garlic Jr. where they thought they beat him, and then they were just like, all right, nigga, let me get my one. Then he took the weights off. Bro, in the middle of a movie, in the middle of peril, I still want my one with Goku. That's crazy. He had the fucking cape on and the little weighted little kufi the whole time. And then when he knew he was about to fight Goku, he was like, it's serious time, nigga.
Exactly. Now, he know what it is with Goku.
And he was just like, bruh, I got a move that I want to show to you. And that I knew he was going to do Special Beam Cannon to fuck up Goku.
Of course.
He created that to kill Goku.
Yes. He didn't he say that when he was fighting Riders?
Yeah. He was like, I created this move for you. You get to see it right now, but trust me, this shit will still work, which he never did it against Goku because they never fought again.
No, they did not. That's when Piccolo finally got swayed to the light.
No, Piccolo just was crazy as a bitch. Like, he was just like, all right, I heard on this nigga Scouter that he got other niggas coming that's stronger. I need to steal your child.
Kidnapping is fun.
He just took a child. He's like, he has potential. Just took him. And then it's so crazy. Like, Gohan had one of the horriblest fucking closed, bruised eye. He's like, I really like you, Mr. Piccolo. That tells you enough that Goku was not a good father.
For shit.
Swollen eye. And he was just like, we're like family. I'm like, bro, that does not sound like a good family.
At all. Again, we say this nigga Gohan's trauma runs deep. You got beat for months by this nigga, and now he's your second dad.
He beat you into submission.
He beat his ass.
He whooped your ass so bad you got your power under control.
He beat your ass all through the mountains.
Bruh, straight the fuck up. He was just like, I don't have any power. Palmed this nigga head, threw him a fastball into a fucking mountain. And then he blew up the mountain. He said, who'd you think did that? Nigga, me? Yeah. Now let's hone this shit. Put your hands up. Put my hands. I was like, Jesus. Gohan was 4.
That shit is... We're not gonna go into this, but goddamn, that boy went through so much.
He didn't even make it to kindergarten yet, and you were fighting grown men.
That shit is so bad. It's just like Hidden Leaf Village. I just said this shit yesterday. Them kids, like I said, the Hidden Leaf Village did not learn from their mistakes from the war between the Uchiha and Senju.
Well, I think they did learn their lesson. Child warriors are very good.
Like them, boy. The Hidden Leaf Village is built off the backs of dead children.
Yes,
and that is awful.
I want you to think about this: who won the war for them? A teenager.
Oh my god, he did. That's so bad. Like, and the Hidden Leaf Village is so bad. Y'all know y'all send these children's parents off to fight, and a lot of them parents don't come back. Where's the orphanage? Naruto and Sasuke was just running through the village like loose leaf paper.
Bro, but what did that happen? What happened after that? That built these niggas into greatness. Bro, niggas with the, like, on the Uchiha clan, it was like, oh yeah, I got my third, like, little dot on my eye when I was like 14. Sasuke got that bitch at 9.
They were not 9.
They won't.
They were like 14.
Yeah, it was up there.
Every time they encounter people outside of their village that wants to fight them or whatever, it's grown ass men. All the other villages send out their grown men ninjas. Hidden Leaf is the only one that sends out teenagers to fight grown men battles.
This broken system is working.
That shit is crazy.
Bro, we got to motivate these children some way.
Ain't no way I would never want to live there.
Grown up stayed home and cooked. All right, we're gonna go back to what we was originally talking about. We was talking about the Hunter exam, so we're gonna start off by saying
From the beginning. Because we got so sidetracked.
Yeah, but that was because you said one of the coldest lines, and I couldn't stop myself from indulging in that. That nigga said, "What did you?" You said, "Yeah,
I said Piccolo is the." What did I say?
You said Piccolo is the henchman handler. I was like, facts, facts.
I'm a cold nigga when I think.
Yeah, that nigga's a double H. I was like, oh, that's tough.
Anytime they need henchmen handled, Piccolo with the cape is right there for you.
Bruh, every movie.
I can conserve my energy for the real threat.
Yep.
That's so foul,
Even in the Cooler movie, when all those fucking robots started getting everybody captured, Piccolo handled one.
Yeah, that's what Piccolo is the most reliable of the henchmen. Clean them up real quick. There you go, Goku. There's a landing strip right there for you to go ahead and do what you got to do. I'm gonna be back here now.
I'm gonna handle the rest.
I like how Piccolo tried to show up all cold during the Broly movie and got stomped out immediately.
Well, he showed up by shooting one of his beams away, didn't he? Yes, because that nigga Broly went to kill Gohan. Gohan was hung up. Gohan was literally, his necktie was attached to something. He was just stuck dead in the air.
He was dangling off of a fucking building. I when I seen that shit, I was like, Gohan, you have to be getting choked out right now. That's that Saiyan physiology right there, keeping him alive.
And bro,
that nigga should have been hung.
And then Broly, as a real villain, went to kill Gohan immediately. Didn't think twice. And Piccolo shot a beam to stop it. Thank God he had a sensu beam.
And then got draws. That Piccolo had the worst scene of the movie.
Yeah.
When he was fucking flying down at Broly, and Broly, all he did was thrust his shoulder up and knock Piccolo off track, and then a spin kicked his ass.
A headbutt into a spin kick, and then who was
it? Trained his ass.
No,
it was clothesline and Trunks and Gohan.
Yeah, was it Trunks and Gohan?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, clothesline, both double clothesline, kicks him up in the air, and then sends him on a mission with that beam.
All the way to bitch ass Vegeta.
Bruh, that's crazy, bruh.
Half a planet away.
That nigga shot him with some encouragement. He said, now bring the prince. That nigga said, oh, Vegeta. I was like, yo. And Vegeta got handled immediately.
He showed up thinking he was cool when Super Saiyan and got clotheslined into a boulder. And that was his time.
Because Vegeta was just like, yeah, I'm the prince. He said, well, then show me. He shot him with 2 beams and retreated. Vegeta retreated. He turned around. Broly was there. He said, ah! Clotheslined him, put that nigga to sleep. All Vegeta was good for is giving Goku energy. It's crazy.
Literally.
And then he was so fucking arrogant and so fucking pride-headed. He was the last one to give Goku energy. That's what I needed. I needed that energy from the beginning, nigga.
It would have helped a lot if you had. It would have saved me a lot of. I got clothesline waiting on you,
bruh. He used me as a trampoline.
Yeah,
my screams motivated people to give me energy. Like, bro, y'all wasn't thinking about this until you saw me in peril. He was just jumping up. This ain't bouncy. Just jumping on Goku.
Up this dirt onto him real quick.
Bruh, he jumped on him so bad that he made a crater that Goku fell into. And this nigga Broly was beating Goku ass into that fucking mountain. He was beating him. He got stuck into another part. He dashed in to beat him further into the mountain and kept doing that. I was like, Goku, bruh, you are the greatest punching bag to this man.
For real.
Goku took way too much punishment.
Hell, that scene where he grabbed him up by his face and let him go and swung into him, that attack was so bad, you didn't see it. All you saw was glass shattering. Like, you saw an image of Goku in a glass and saw the glass shatter to simulate that he clocked that nigga.
And the bad part about it is it went to a whole nother part of that place. And the impact still affected the building. So I was like, oh my god.
You see Vegeta standing in the background and it shatters the glass of the building that Vegeta is standing on.
Bruh.
God damn, that nigga was cold. You can't convince me that the new Broly is better.
Oh my god, he was so fucking cool.
And I understand the whole mindset of, well, he was just ramming through all of them niggas. And it wasn't really that much of a fight and all of that. Even from the standpoint of, I only look at it from an antagonist standpoint. As an antagonist, OG is better.
He would have put the fucking pause to sell.
It would have been over.
He'd have put the pause to sell.
A lot of people said that when they gave Goku that energy, Goku was practically God Super Saiyan at that point.
Yeah, I would. Well,
it was close. I don't say it was because didn't Trunks, Kid Trunks and Goten were there to give him energy, and
then they used like the Pan who was in the womb.
Yeah, they had a couple more Super Saiyans there to give him energy, but I would say he was pretty.
I won't say he was close to like God, because you had a decent amount of Super Saiyans, but then you had a Namekian, but you needed like maybe 2 more Saiyans and it'd have been there. But
he was up there in strength.
Yeah, he was stronger than Super Saiyan 2.
He punched a hole in this nigga and eradicated him.
Bruh.
Back to what we were actually talking about, because we got sidetracked again.
Yes, I actually was taking to say you got sidetracked, bitch.
I was having fun. Fuck off.
Nah, we talked about why we got sidetracked, and you were like, "What did I say?" I was like, "That was the coldest line." So that's what got us so sidetracked.
I love when I come up with those things. Anyway,
I'll have to say, just like I said before, from watching the first episode, I didn't even know that the Hunter exam started. As soon as they got on the boat,
I want to talk about even before then, when his aunt thought he won't gonna catch that fish. Mm-hmm. This nigga was like, "I'm getting out of here one way or another," and used that fucking tree as a pulley.
That was crazy, bro. It's still impossible on how he did that shit. But
of course, this is anime we talking about, though.
Yeah.
If anything, first of all, that rope would have snapped. That line would have snapped, wrapping it around the tree like that. But hey, this is anime. This is the world we live in.
Yeah, that was cold. Him getting the legendary fish in the lake, and then
do they just not kill that fish at all? Because they said his dad caught it when he was Gon's age at like 12. Well, that's the same fucking fish.
Well, most people, especially fishermen, they always let their catch go.
That's an old ass fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd be like,
that nigga should have came out of the water with gray hair.
That nigga came out with legs.
Evolved in there.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough.
True.
He about to evolve into speech next time.
But yeah, when they were on that boat, like it was genius to have people who were transporting them to the exams actually be like the judge on who actually is participating in the exam beforehand, just to get a gauge on the participants and what they're able to do.
Yeah, and for that captain to have that type of discernment, because first off, he saw Gon go up there and use his sniper nose to be he just was like, He's like, a storm's coming. How do you know? Oh, them birds are saying it. Nigga, you speak bird?
Dr. Doolittle head.
He's like, all right. Let me confirm. This nigga uses ACOG scope nose. Just a girl is pregnant 2 miles out. I'm like, Jesus, Gon. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
You know what I found very funny? So when he was gauging them like during the storm to see who had their sea legs and shit. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck is Kurapika and Leorio about to have a fight in a fucking storm on a boat? Well, there was literally a tornado next to the boat, and these niggas like, you talk bad about my race, meet me outside now.
Bro, he deserved to get the one. Like, because first off, they were just like, they already got hit by a decent wave, and then he went in there, all these niggas is sick. Leorio sitting over there reading, and Kurapika was sitting there reading, and Leorio was sitting there eating. Bruh, for you to have the stomach to eat in that situation, he was like, he got guts. And this nigga Gon was over there giving people herbs, helping people out. They were just like, okay, he seems good. Bruh, from episode 1, they told you how fucking reckless Gon was, and I just did not want to, accept it, I guess.
Oh, when he jumped off the boat to save that dude?
Yeah, because the dude, bruh, first off, that's a fucking terrifying thing to happen. For the storm to hit and you took flight. And then they were just like, we missed that nigga. Maybe next time. Hey, this little nigga jumped.
That's the only thing that stopped that fight between Leorio and Kurapika.
Yeah.
Was that nigga Gon jumping in between them to save somebody, willing to sacrifice his life to do it. They was like, oh shit, grab his legs. I would have let that nigga
And I like the writing, because just seeing that and seeing this interesting kid do this and see the light and all, Kurapika was just like, I'm actually interested in seeing this nigga's future, because as soon as the captain gave them the okay and they took him towards port, he told him just to go up to that cedar tree, right? Mm-hmm. But then Leorio heard some other shit And he was like, I'm gonna get on that bus. Kurapika was like, nah, I want to look at this little nigga's advancement. He is interesting. So that tells you right there, like for you to be a intellectual person, you got to be curious. And him being curious enough just to see, like, I've never seen a child like this before. I haven't seen a person like this.
Exactly.
Let me just see what he does. I'm not saying that I'm gonna stick with him the whole time, but he's a little interesting.
I would be friends with Gon immediately.
Yeah, he has a very magnetic personality. Very, very like fucking joyous, pure. You want to be around somebody like that.
Not to mention his way of thinking is so simplistic, but simultaneously it's like there's a charm to how stupid he is.
Yeah.
And is magnetic.
Very magnetic. So for Leorio, it shows you how much he don't think because he just heard about the fucking bus, and then it took somebody to be like, oh yeah, these niggas getting tricked every year over there. Let me follow Gon. I'm like, you dumb as a bitch. So now I know because when they went to go towards the cedar tree, they had the question they had to get, which is interesting. I'll say this, that dude before, because it was a dude that was following them because he heard the captain tell them to follow the cedar tree. So he was just like, I'm just going to chill back. That dude did give a logical answer, but that's still cold. Because
cold-hearted as fuck.
It was like the question was just like, if you had to save your wife and your son, who would you save? And he said the wife, because I can always have another son, or something like that.
That's basically what he said.
Yeah, and it was cold. And then he thought that he won that bitch. It was like, all right, go to the door. One thing I took from that, and I thought that was incredible, you see Leorio, he was like, bro, ain't no fucking right answer to this shit. It's bullshit. He was about to hit an old lady.
Yeah, he was about to beat her ass.
That nigga was about to crash out on an old bitch.
Kurapika ain't stop him. That she would have had a coma.
Bruh, she was done.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, I like that, like, they answered it correct because the answer was nothing. There's no right answer.
But I love this Gon is still like, if I was put in this situation, there is no not answering this question. I have to actually think about what I would do in this scenario because this could actually happen one day.
But the beauty of that scene is you think Gon was still thinking about it, and they're like, Gon, we already won. He was just like, I know we won it, but this situation could actually happen. What would I do? He's thinking about it realistically, which the lady was just like, that was the object of this question. So it tells you how in-depth this hunter exam was. Of course, some heinous people can make through, but to make a real hunter, they give you real good parameters to be a very precise hunter. And then when they made it out of that, that's when they finally made it to the cedar tree. And I ain't gonna even lie, I would have failed the fuck out that.
Oh yeah, for sure. You talking about when they bumped into those
because they went to the crib and then they seen the people, one dude bleeding, and then the other dude like the wife was laying down, and then like the husband like looked like he had blood, and then that little creature took the wife. I would have failed the fuck out that. Leorio got lucky. He was a doctor.
He got lucky through most of the hunter exam.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he got very lucky that he was just a doctor and knew what to do in that situation. And it was like, you good. Clearly you have medical expertise somewhere. Even though you didn't know what's going on, you still treated these wounds. You're good. But they was like, Gon was the star of that.
Well, Kurapika was good too because first off, those were like shape-shifting creatures. Mm-hmm. So when Kurapika went to chase, and then when he actually got to the girl, his ability to be able to analyze was great. But him just being an intellectual, him knowing information, he understood what that tattoo of hers was. So him doing that was good. Then you see this other, you thinking Leorio, but it was one of those shape-shifting people because, Leorio came up. He was like, oh, yeah, I treated this person, and they all good. And he smacked the shit out that nigga with the stick.
He didn't even know if it was like...
Leorio, now, you gave your word that you was going to look out for this person. You didn't keep your word.
Abandoned them.
So I'm about to
smack the shit out of you.
I'm going to reprimand you right now with violence.
He didn't even know if it was him or not, but he was just mad at the fact that he would dare abandon people who are hurt.
Yes. And I'm going to say this. This is the wildest shit to me because once they figured out that these were shapeshifters and the girl figured out that Kurapika realized what was going on, this nigga put a stick to her neck to make it look like, hey, I could kill you right now. Bitch, you gave me a stick with bandages around it and use it as a threat.
That shit ain't even sharp.
No.
That shit blunt as hell.
He put it to her neck and said, give me answers. Nigga, what the fuck?
I forgot about that. He really did.
He put a
threatening you with a twig, bitch. What's up?
Like, bro, don't make me get fired. That'd be the end of your fucking day.
That nigga really showed up to the hunter exams with sticks.
Bruh.
It ain't no better than what Gon did. He showed up with a fishing rod.
Hey, that's true. True to himself. But I ain't gonna even trip, bro. Like, I already knew it, so I picked up on it when I was watching it. But you remember when Gon hit the one and then it went in the woods and then Gon tried to catch up, right? Mm-hmm. When he was talking to Gon, you see Gon looking around. Gon like, what the fuck? And when I first seen it, I didn't pick up on that. And then when the dude looked like he was going to attack Gon, he said, who are you?
And he really stood there, was like, wait, you know I'm a different one? He
said, bro, you look completely different.
He passes!
Bro, that's impressive.
For real.
And then you listening, you have the attention enough to understand that, oh, your face looked different, but your voice is completely different, which it was. But in the heat of battle, you picked that up.
That's the last thing I'm worried about is this nigga sounds different. Like, this nigga got a sore throat all of a sudden. I don't know. Fight.
Yeah. I would have tried to kill him. I'm like, Corpega, give me the 6. I would have been trying to end these niggas. So I thought that was dope today. The first thought that I had is I always wondered, well, because, you know, after they passed that, those things flew them towards where they needed to go to, which was a fucking small, like, restaurant and shit like that. Uh-huh. But the entire time I thought, because there was nobody in the room when they took that elevator down, right? Mm-hmm. So, of course, they all made it to that room. I always wondered how everybody else's exam was.
That was my thought, too, because even when they were on the ship, I'm like, the Hunter exam committee has that many people to dispatch all of them to, because it was more than just that ship.
Yeah.
It was, and who's to say it wasn't multiple different means of transportation for people? Do y'all have that many people out to transport this many people to this one location? That means every way into this area, y'all have covered with people for the Hunter committee.
Yes.
That is crazy.
That tells you how resourceful the Hunter committee was.
That is crazy.
And so I thought that was great. Now, once they went down and it showed everybody, that entire thing was just well thought out. Like, you got it's so many different characters that stood out.
Yeah, especially Hisoka.
And the thing about it is, the dude that bumped into Hisoka had a decent outfit, so he looked like he could have been important.
For real, when after rewatching, I was like, they gave him such a great design to die immediately.
Yeah.
All he did was shoulder bump Hisoka, and he evaporated this nigga.
Bro, this nigga turned his arms to beautiful flowers. And even after knowing what Nin is later on, I'm just like, bro, I don't know how he did that still.
He never did it again.
No.
We know what his Nin ability is now, and so now I'm thinking, what the fuck was that then? What the fuck did he do?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
Unless, like, because you know, like, the Nin can also fuck up your visual, what you're seeing. So he could have just cut them bitches off and make everybody believe that was happening, because nobody there probably could use Nin except for him and what was it? Well, I'm gonna get to that later, but I just thought, like, when they first got down there and you see all these different people, I'm just like, man, I really want to know what they're gonna do. And then, bruh, I would never be a hunter, bro. It's impossible for, like, I'm pretty sure somebody could pull that off. Like, only real person that probably can pull that off is Goggins.
Real shit. Because they ran miles. I meant to look up, because they were talking about in kilometers, but I don't know how many miles.
They did kilometers.
Oh, yeah, kilometers. They ran kilometers, but I forget how many miles.
60 fucking miles.
And not even in the evening.
And that was just running. They probably went maybe 15 miles upstairs.
And you know what's crazy? What's his name? Sotus, something like that. They're the examiner for that. The purple suit nigga. He did that. He went full sprint in a suit.
I don't even think he was sprinting.
Well,
he was just lunging.
For everybody else that was sprinting, this nigga was just, he ain't bend a knee or nothing. He was going up the stairs, not bending a knee.
Bro, he was just prancing
the whole time. And fucking, you know what made me laugh? During the stair part, when they were running up the stairs, you see Killer One Gone just bobbing and weaving past people who passed out on the stairs.
Bruh, these niggas was struggling on the steps, and he was just like, yeah, I just wonder what the next phase is, because this is phase 1. Man, I really want some candy after the, hey, I bet you I could beat you, bitch. Bet that. Took off. Yo, but I ain't gonna even lie.
You see fucking Leorio got the whole blazer off tied around his waist. This nigga's dying.
Well, now Leorio was just, I like how they said that with Leorio. He was just like, I gotta stop caring about what people think about me.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta stop worrying about how I look and just work. Just go.
Just go.
That's what made Court Pickle take off his robe, I guess you can call it, and stuff it in his bag and keep going.
But I love, like, and it is so crazy because niggas will be like, oh, that's stupid to live by. But Tompa was just there to just ruin rookies. Most niggas lives be something stupid like that too.
Look how many people run around hating on people that are better than them.
Yeah,
that's that's all you need for real life examples. Look how many of y'all niggas talk about celebrities all the time as if y'all would ever get to that status.
It's niggas that just get online just to swat niggas.
Exactly.
So Tonpa's idea, I know everybody hated him, which I did too, but it made sense on why he just did that shit just because he found like that was his most enjoyment.
For all we know, he could have been contracted to do that. Because we never see him again after the Hunter exam, so we don't know why he was doing it, but I don't give a fuck. It still created interesting dynamics.
And Gon saved them then too. Because Gon was just like, nah, this shit tastes weird. And spit that shit straight the fuck out. And Court Pickle was like, yeah, I wasn't going to drink this shit in the first place.
No, I think he did.
He opened it up.
No, he didn't because he used it again later. That's right. But yeah, that...
Wait a minute, who? Wait a minute, what you about to say? You said Court Pickle used it later? What?
Not Court Pickle, Killua. My bad.
Killua had multiple.
Well, I know
he drunk one. Later. Yeah, he drunk one and then came back and got 3 more.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, can I get some more of that shit? And he was like, bro, why is this not fucking with this kid? Because I gave these niggas a drink that was a horrible laxative. He should be shitting right now. And he was just like, yeah. He said, don't worry, bro. I'm immune to poisons. When Killua first said that, that was chilling for me. Mm-hmm. For you to be immune to poisons, you got to go through something.
A lot.
But I can't remember that one kid who was like, Tompa tried to get him, but he literally had so much information. He was like, no, he said, ain't you the fucking rookie killer? He was like, nigga, back. back. And he, like, bruh, for a short, fat little nigga, he ran for a good little minute.
He was doing better than fucking Leorio.
Yeah, but his thing was, I think he analyzed it was only going to be 9 miles. And then he tapped out at 9. And then this nigga Tompa, it wasn't like Tompa literally gave money to the triplets to just fuck with him. He was like, yeah, break this little nigga in half, bro. He was like, oh, you really can't run this far? Oh, this is the first phase. Oh, man, if I was like you, I would never do this again. That nigga said, he nigga dropped his laptop. That nigga.
I would have dropped me before that laptop.
Yeah, that shit looked expensive.
All right, this one I'm recording on is expensive. I don't even want to know how much his is.
Bro, he was ugly running at the end. He was ugly running. I knew he was at his wit's end when he was breathing in and out his mouth. I was like, yeah, that's when you're done.
Oh, yeah, it's over.
And then he dropped that laptop and he just was bruh, barely making it. That shit looked horrible.
That nigga was running with his arms to his side. It's over.
And then I love that after they finished this long ass jump, I ain't gonna even lie, I felt like Gon won the race against Killua. I'm sorry, Killua.
I don't remember. I remember, but they don't actually say. I could.
Sotos was like, nah, it was simultaneous. And then I thought that was great, but bruh, the world tested these niggas immediately.
Soon as they got in that fog.
No, it wasn't even that, nigga. Like, right when they finished, he was like, all right, this is the second phase, and we're going to the second phase. He said, so y'all niggas prepare. It's like man-eating people. There's animals out here that'll trick you. And then that one animal showed up. He was like, bruh, he a fake. Bruh, he's a man-eating motherfucker. He gonna lure y'all and eat y'all. And Hisoka, quick thinking, he was just like, let me try both of y'all niggas.
That examiner knew he was a problem right then and there. He tried to kill me.
Yeah.
Like later on when they have the conversation about who the prospects, and it was like, he's on our level and exceptionally dangerous. Because that nigga was like, I ain't got time to be playing these games. Throw cards at both of these niggas. And I hope the hunter examiner is good, because if not, our hunter exam is over.
He said, to be a hunter, you got to be able to stop this.
He was like, I ain't even putting in them cards. I just threw them. If you can't even catch that, nigga.
Yeah, you shouldn't be a hunter.
You should not be teaching us shit.
Right after that, nigga, that stretch would have been fucking horrible. It was too many things that would have got me.
The run alone would have killed me. Mm-hmm. And then you still got to run, but now you got to run on damp-ass land in fog, surrounded by everything in the world that wants to eat or trick you.
Yes.
Nope. As soon as they said that, even if I had made it through the first initial part of the exam, I ain't going this next part. I'm like, well, it's been real. I'm going to sit right here on these steps and wait for somebody to get me.
Yep, I'd have just sat there.
Fuck that.
And then you would have still been in danger.
I would have walked back down the steps.
No, they closed.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, them bitches closed.
They did close because they trapped that one dude that was literally at the last step. And it's shut in his face.
I was
He's like, no, wait, I'm right here. Ah.
Next phase. I was like, ugh. And the bad thing about it is that nigga was probably behind that gate hearing the instructions.
Exactly.
He was like, ooh, no, fuck that. I'm tired now.
I'm just gonna say right here.
Yeah, I'll just wait. Hopefully somebody sees me. And then, bro, I love how they already showed how dangerous and scary Hisoka was, because as soon as it started, he evaporated nigga arms. As soon as they get to the next phase, he kills somebody else. And then they're running to this stretch, and these niggas felt like they can be their own examiners. And this nigga Hisoka is crazy, because he was like, you gonna be your own, you're gonna be the examiners now? Y'all gonna try me? Killed them niggas immediately. And then he was just like, that actually sounds like a fun game. I will play examiner now. It's like, nigga, that's terrifying.
And he did too. Oh my God. He was so terrifying, bro. Mm-hmm. Especially during that part when Leorio and Piccolo pulled up on him by complete mistake and was like,
he just started walking to them and he was just like, hey, I got the best idea. All right, bro, how we gonna fight him? Fight him?
Exactly.
My idea is just run different directions.
Get out of here immediately. And even Hisoka was like, smart move. Mm-hmm. Dumbass nigga Leorio
bro.
Right back.
That tells you, bro, that he is a nigga that stand on business. He was just like, nah, bro, it didn't feel right. I got to go at you.
And got knocked the fuck out.
Quick.
Swiftly. He's lucky Gon was there.
Yeah, bro, but Gon got fucking, like, bro, he got control with that fucking fishing rod.
Which was crazy because he felt like he needed more training later on. But his precise control with that fishing rod, then and there, like every shot he was taking was at his head, at Hisoka's head. So you have precise control already. But yeah, Gon's very fortunate that Hisoka saw something in him.
Yeah.
He would have ended him.
Yeah, and Hisoka constantly says, he was just like, nah. He's like, I spare people that I feel like would be of interest later. But I kill people who I'm just like, nah, you met your peak. And I'll drop you right now. And bruh, he was just like, oh, he had Gon by the neck. He said, oh, he's such a great specimen. Later on, he's going to be so strong. This is so, Gon was fading. He's like, oh, let that nigga go. He was like, are you good, nigga? You good?
He's like, I almost killed you, little buddy. I almost killed you. You almost got it. You lucky. You lucky I like him young.
That is wild. That is wild.
That nigga's nasty, bro.
But and it's so crazy that because he knocked Leorio out and then he carried him to the next phase.
He was like, I like this part in particular because I know he was testing Gon in this moment when he's like, he picked Leorio up, started walking. He's like, I trust you know your way back. He's like, Gon was like, yeah. He's like, yeah.
It's so promising, bro. And then for him to lock in on Leorio's cologne was very masterful
with that Wolverine level ass nose he got.
Yeah,
that shit is a mutant power.
And it's so crazy, bro. Like Killua really didn't have no attachment to Leorio or Kurapika at that time. He had an attachment to Gon.
Yeah.
So when they were running, Gon and Killua would have passed that quick. But then Gon was just like, nah, I got to go back for these niggas, bro. I don't feel right.
Yeah, he felt something in the air.
And then
it was more than just the fog. That nigga, like, there is a bloodlust. I can feel it. I need to go help.
And so him doing that and fucking Hisoka taking Leorio to the next phase saved Gon because he just used that scent to be able to find him. And then I'll say this though, that next phase was the dumbest part. I
hated that. I genuinely, because you think that originally, so the next phase is the cooking phase, and originally when I first watched it, I'm just thinking that the phase is just to see if they have the ability to hunt and analyze properly. No, this bitch literally just wanted them to cook something that tastes good to her. I hate her.
But I'll say this, she took accountability because,
oh yeah, for sure,
because she based everybody, first off they had to go and find, because the whole project was they wanted pork. So then they had to go find something that's pork-based. It was only fucking one thing.
Yeah, the most dangerous species of pig on the planet.
Yeah, and Gon was the only one who, he figured it out first, and everybody seen that shit, and then they went about it. And then everybody, first off, everybody just roasted it and gave it, and the big nigga enjoyed it. And the girl was just like,
every pig on the plate.
He was eating bones.
All of it.
And I'll say Kurapika was the smarter out of everybody because he was just like, okay. Leorio was like, oh, she like presentation? That nigga just put a flag on that bitch. I was like, that's not good. But for Leorio to come up with, I said Leorio, Kurapika to come up with, he put, lettuce and tomato in that junk to make the presentation looked good, but of course the taste was bad. And then she was like, everybody failed.
This nigga, Hisoka,
was ready to kill her.
Was ready to end her right then. He pulled that card out his wristband and was about to get to work. She is lucky that...
He said, I hope your affairs are in order. That nigga was about to change her life.
She's lucky Netero showed up.
Yeah, and Sototes was just chilling and thank God that he did that.
Yeah.
Because he was just like, Chairman, this bitch is doing the same thing. Her old fucking habits. She's doing that right now. He's like, all right, I show up. Now, when Netero showed up, she didn't try to make it seem like they was fucking up. She took accountability immediately. Mm-hmm. She said, when that one big motherfucker talked shit about gourmet hunters, I kind of lost it.
Yeah.
And then put the fucking bar way too high.
Yeah.
And I felt like the next trial she gave them made sense, though.
Yeah, that was fair, because that was genuinely analyzing your environment to gain an understanding of how you should approach situations.
Yes.
That was fair.
And it's so interesting. Like, you can tell that she's very capable because she knew that the updraft with the wind happens and it can carry you. So for her to do that, and then I love that Netero was just like, nah, don't just do this. Don't just fucking make them try to figure it out. You go down there first. You
Give
volunteer.
them an example of what to do.
And then
you don't have to explain exactly, but just show them what they should be doing.
And then for her to do that,
eating spider eggs is crazy, by the way.
I bet you them bitches good though.
Them shits were
spider. It was spider hawks,
big as a head.
Mm-hmm.
And those creatures are smart to put their eggs where they put them.
Yeah, very, very smart.
You put them shits in between two cliffs, just dangling off of the cliffs. Mm-hmm. Nothing's getting that.
And then the updraft from the wind keeps most people away anyway. Because if a bird got close, that updraft would just send your ass.
Yeah.
So it was a very good environment to be able to have eggs, but I bet you them bitches was good. But I thought that aspect of her coming up with a even better trial was very good of hers.
Yeah, that was excellent preparation.
And I like that they showed, like, I don't give a fuck what anybody say. You can really want to become a hunter, but that level of heights is terrifying.
Oh, for sure. I'm terrified of heights. There was no way.
That
if
shit.
I had somehow managed to make it past everything else, I would have bitched out like that big dude once he looked down that cliff. Was like, nope.
He understood his limitations. He was like, that wind wouldn't carry me. The fuck? He's like, all these niggas skinny. And he's like, nah.
Gon was carrying a lot of them people. Like, he carried everybody through that portion of the exams.
Yeah, because everybody understood that this nigga has instincts that we don't have. So... And you had some, like, very impatient people that, like, it was one dude that got it, failed, and just died.
He's like, I got the egg.
And it's... Wait, I didn't hear impact. Oh my God, that's terrifying, dog. I didn't hear impact.
At all. You don't even hear the impact, how deep down this goes.
So, and it tells you the level of all the people that was in there at that moment. They didn't realize that they wasn't scared to take on that challenge. They didn't have the instincts to be able to tell when the wind hits. So you would use somebody who has that instincts to be able to gauge it. That tells you right there. Of course, they still underestimate him because he's a kid, but you're still willing to understand that I'm out of my league in this part.
Everybody there should have been thanking Gon for the cooking portion. He was the reason why y'all knew about how to handle the pigs, and he was the reason why y'all knew the timing down for the wind gusts to get out of that cliff.
Yes.
Y'all should be thanking him.
Most definitely.
All of y'all should be thanking him.
So I thought that was good. Now, after that, I think they went on to the blimp, and then they was going to that blimp was taking them to the next phase.
We got to talk about this fucking.
Oh my gosh, yes.
When they tried to get, first of all right. So the part when they're in the blimp and Gon and Killua is looking at this skyline and shit, and Netero walks down one side of the hallway and notices them and activates bloodlust or something. And they look that way, and he's walking down the complete opposite end of the hallway. This nigga is quick as shit.
Real speed. But
Killua was like, "Want you this over there?"
Nah, he's a good fucking trick, nigga. He was like, this old nigga light on his feet. All right.
Exact. You know, it was so when they were doing all of that, when they were doing the little. So Netero, out of boredom, tells Killua and Gon, "Hey, y'all want to play a game real quick?" Like,
and Killua was like, why the fuck would I want to play a game right now? He's like, all right, I'll sweeten the deal for you. if y'all can get the ball, I will pass y'all at Hunters right now. Great incentive.
It's a very great incentive. So he's holding the ball and dodging all of their advances to get the ball. But Gon, what's so genius about this boy? He would have gotten that.
Wait. Let's go a little bit back first.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to even lie. Before this fight even happened, that tells you like Gon is a fucking pure person. Because when they were looking at the skyline, Killer was just like, so what you wanted to do? He said, oh, well, my dad is a hunter. And I really want to understand. He didn't want to raise his kid to be a hunter. It got to be something special about this. So I want to see what it's like.
He's like, my dad abandoned me to go be a hunter. So clearly there's something here.
That's to the root of it. And it's understandable. So he was like, okay. He's like, what about you? He said, I kind of did this for fun. My family are assassins. He was like, really? He said, nigga, you believe that immediately? He was like, I don't see why you should lie. So that tells you how much of a pure person he is right there.
And he didn't judge Killua at all.
No, ever.
And I think that's what really attracted Killua to Gon. Because I think he said before, everybody else is kind of scared or judges me when I say that. You're the only person that's like, oh, that's cool.
Well, I loved how, Killua was interested in Gon from the first phase when they were running. Because Killua, I don't give a fuck what anybody say. He was smart using a skateboard.
Very much so. And abandoned it to run next to Gon for the entirety of it.
Yeah, to be equal. I put it on equal footing then.
Yeah.
So he was interested. He was like, oh, he my age. Let me see if he's interesting. I never really had a friend. So let me just, let me check him out. Mm-hmm. So then, right then, he was just like, let me stick with him as long as I see. If I see he's like weaker, I can just dish this nigga.
Even during the part, you could really tell how much of a relationship he established with Gon. We'll talk about this later on, but when they were doing the tower part and they had to make that decision on which path to go through, and one of the paths was only 3 people could go through, Killua right then and there said,
Gon, I
know me and Gon are going.
And the thing that's scary, well, we ain't gonna go into that yet. I'll tell you, we're gonna go back to that though.
But that really lets you know that Killua established a firm relationship with Gon and made it very clear to everybody else around, this is my nigga. Where I go, he goes. Period.
And he didn't really have a relationship with Kurapika and Leorio at that time.
Not really.
So he was just like, Kurapika had a relationship with Gon. Leorio had a relationship with Gon because he's just a magnetic child. Like he had that level of his charisma was up through the roof.
Yes.
So I want to be around him. Leorio just was interested. Kurapika was just like, no, this is a very interesting child. I think Leorio was hanging around Gon because he's seen that he's a light and he kind of want to protect it.
That and because he never said this, but it did kind of come off like, if I stick around this boy, I can possibly make it through this whole exam.
I'm gonna change your mind on that. Well, I might not. I'm just gonna say my opinion of that later. But now we going back to the scene where Netero was holding the ball and he was challenging these kids. Now they thought it was looking cute at first, and then Killua was just like, "All right, let me show you this shit." That fucking walk thing was so fucking cold.
Yeah, because he echoed himself basically.
Yeah,
all he did was What? How did Netero explain it? I forget.
He was walking and changing his pace so often. It just looked, his change of pace was constant and different, and it made it look like it was multiples.
The level of control that takes is out of this world.
And then, you can tell that he was fucking bothering Killua.
Oh yeah, he's pissing Killua off.
Yes,
especially after Killua thought he had him. He hit him with the shin kick. And Killua shattered his own shin.
Yeah, he fucked his own leg up.
My favorite part was when Gon tried to go up against him, and he did something like a fake out, but overestimated or underestimated the height of the roof.
Yeah, he jumped high and got a mean ass headbutt.
Because he would have gotten that ball.
Well, I think it would have surprised Netero right then, because he jumped up and he was just like, well, that shocked the shit out of me. Because Netero probably already had the specs of the place out. And he was like, why are you jumping so? Oh, he didn't realize it. Okay, all right.
No, because I think Killua has said, you would have gotten him if you hadn't done that jump so fucking high. He was surprised because he was that was your chance. He
was like, you didn't even realize how much you surprised him with that move right there.
He was expecting you to go just straight for it and try to go for the ball. You surprised him when you jumped.
Yes,
you could have had it,
but I still don't think he'd have got it from him.
No, he would have gotten it.
And then when they worked together, bro, I'm sorry, bro. The one scene that he used when looked like he was gonna kick Netero and he slid his boot off to extend his foot. To kick Netero in the face, I thought that was fucking great.
Because Gon was like, yo, we got to change up our strategy. This shit ain't working. All right, let me try something he ain't going to expect. kicked his boot off at this nigga. And then kicked the boot off again to kick the ball away.
Yes, because like right then they did something. They got close. Netero went to jump for it. Gon kicked off his boot to smack that bitch away. Their strategy was so sound, Netero had to get serious.
That nigga flexed his toes. Left a burn mark and dent in the floor, dashing after that ball when Killer One Gon almost had it. It's like, nah, not today, little nigga. I'm not passing y'all.
And then Killer was just like, man, fuck this shit. I ain't got time for this. Because he was getting aggravated.
The funniest line in the show was this nigga, after Killer gives up, basically was, I would have killed that old man for the ball. In my head, a laugh track played.
Yeah, because like he was
nigga,
just like,
no, you wouldn't.
Now, I understand, like, he didn't get dead serious, so he thinks that his dead serious was enough to do it. But no, little nigga.
At all. You still didn't know Nin then.
My nigga, you was trained to be able to handle torture, and you shin kicking him hurt you. Realize that.
Exactly.
So when
this nigga was so tough, when Gon was doing it alone and headbutted this nigga Netero's abs, if he had done that again, Netero was like, I'm
probably gonna shatter his skull.
Nigga, what? That is insane.
And then he hit the wall. He was like, oh shit, is that kid dead? And then you see Gon just, nope, I'm good. I was like, all right. I really love that, Gon wasn't even trying to get the ball anymore. He was just like, okay, I can't get the ball. This nigga, and then I love how Killer was so attentive. He was like, Gon, you ain't even realizing he ain't even using his left leg or right arm. You don't even notice that, right? And he was like, really? And then when he left, he was like, all right, let's go, Gon. He was like, nah, I'm going to continue doing this challenge. And when Killer left, somebody ran up on Killer when he just killed him, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the part when he said, I would have killed that old man for the ball.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. But anyway.
But I love that Gon then, his entire purpose was to make him use his left leg and right arm. And then he just went to sleep.
Yeah, once he got him to use that arm,
he went straight to sleep.
That nigga, I love that Netero was like, this kid, I like this kid, he has potential. And called the captain and was like, slow this bitch down a little bit. Let him get some sleep.
Get there a little late.
Yeah, we got time. Let's let him rest.
I ain't gonna even lie. When they first got to the top of the tower, I didn't even think that it was gonna be trapdoors.
I didn't either.
So when the dude started climbing down, I was just like, oh yeah, he gonna be the first.
That was smart of him. Even though that tower was fucking large as fuck, that nigga was scaling that bitch like it was nothing, and then monsters.
Like naked babies with wings came and ate him. That's the best way to fucking call that. But then you get to see every hunter that was there had the abilities to adapt well.
Yes.
Because soon as they seen that didn't work, niggas started tapping on the ground to see other okay, let's see if there's other ways we can get down. Maybe it's like a button or something. And then I love that. Leorio was like, what the fuck is going on, bruh? And then the Piccolo was like, you don't realize there's less niggas up here? Some of these trap doors, I haven't seen niggas go into them jumps, and then they went and try to go back in it, and it didn't work. So they just got lucky that they chose all the same trap doors near each other, and they got to do the thing together.
They got exceptionally lucky.
And then they ended up with Tompa in the fucking group again, which I thought was great because it really did bring another aspect on it. And whether niggas hate him or not, he was using very sound strategy to fuck with them.
For sure. I love when he was explaining majority rule and how that impacts a group so heavily. It's like, he may be a piece of shit, but he has thought about all of this shit before and knows psychological warfare enough to fuck with people.
Yes.
Drastically.
And was it the first trial was just pick the door.
Yeah.
And then you seen 4 and 1. And Leorio was just getting more pissed.
That nigga Leorio did not like him. Everybody else was calm. Leorio was the only one like, I will beat your ass, nigga.
Bruh.
It's like, but Leorio, it's still majority rule. As long as all of y'all pick the way y'all want to go, what he doesn't matter.
Yes, exactly.
So why are you so fucking mad? You already know what he's gonna do. Just hit your button and move on, nigga.
So once they got through a couple doors, their first trial was to fight against a group of 5.
This is my second favorite part of the Hunter exams.
Now, I ain't gonna even lie. I love how they made Tompa look a little intimidating.
It's true. I like how he tried to play like, I'll be the sacrificial lamb. I'll go first and gauge their abilities, y'all. I want to make up for my past mistakes. This nigga steps in the ring. As soon as they say go, I quit! Ah!
And then
I lose. I'm sorry.
Tompa thought he was all cool and shit. And then when Killer was just like, yeah, he seems like he's prior military. He he'd have crushed your throat just so you couldn't surrender and then just torture you. He's like, I didn't even think about that, nigga. I was like, bro, that would have scared me too.
Yeah, for sure.
And the next fight was Gone. And it was a gentleman who, it was a sound strategy. But
I want to ask you, what one would you have picked?
the shorter.
Me too. I would have picked the shorter just off of the thought. Like, when I was analyzing it, I was like, there are two ways that this can go. They're going to think you're so dumb that you would pick the longer one because you think it's going to burn out slower. Take longer to burn out. Or they could be thinking further ahead than that and thinking that you're thinking that, so you're going to pick the short one and set up and trap the first one, the short one. My strategy would be to put the trap in the short one and make you pick the long one, because you're going to be overthink. If you're a thinker, you're going to overthink a lot of shit.
Well, in that situation, it just looked like, we said, which one would you pick? The obvious answer is the longer one. Mm-hmm. I'd have just been like, fuck it. If I lose, we got other people that can win it, so fuck it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so you find out that he had 4 candles. And so
that was the fucked up. Like, it wasn't really a psychological game. This nigga was just cheating.
Yes.
So it didn't really matter which one Gone picked.
Now, Gone was the smarter one because basically the dude used an accelerant. He used oil to make Gone's candle burn faster. Mm-hmm. So for that to happen, everybody was just like, damn, we lost this one. For Gone to think, he was just like, well, it's some updraft here, so I got to cover this candle, but now I got an accelerant. That win ain't going to work.
Yeah,
he had a
gently placed that bitch down and shadow step to this nigga.
Bruh.
Flash step, said, peekaboo.
Facts.
Happy birthday.
And that's the end of that shit. And then the next one was Leorio versus this bluffing ass nigga. I said Leorio, Piccolo versus the bluffing nigga.
Yeah, who he pissed Piccolo off so much. This nigga had every plastic surgery. He was well ahead of the curve when it came to BBLs. Mm-hmm. This nigga,
BBL blue nigga.
He should have kept his robe blood shirt thing on. He could have possibly stood. He wouldn't have stood a chance either way.
Well, his only thing, it was actually sound because he knew that everybody knew who the spiders were.
Oh yeah, he just didn't know Piccolo's history with him.
Yeah. So, and my thing was he had titanium fists. Mm-hmm. So he can be able to crush rock. Most niggas can't crush rocks. So that right there, punching into the ground, could intimidate you. You saying I have all these tattoos because he had a heart for all the people he killed. You can think that's a bluff, but then as soon as he punches the ground and does a hole in the fucking ground, you can be like, oh, is that a bluff or not? Then he turn around and he has the spider tattoo. Not many niggas know about that. Piccolo has done so much fucking research on these niggas that he knew.
Yeah.
But for him to do that and then punch and then to literally gather himself to show you the tattoo and then get back into the fight, that was a good sound plan to somebody who could be bluffed. But Piccolo was just like, bro, he saw red, literally.
Soon as he seen that tattoo, he grabbed this nigga by his face and power drived his shit into the pavement.
Because I think he grabbed him down and punched him down, didn't he?
Yes. Punched this nigga down to the pavement.
Bruh, slammed the nigga so hard on the ground, he bounced up. I was like, Jesus.
That shit was that. I want to say after that, though, that strategy that the next prisoner employed was genius.
I'm going to be honest, I hated that shit. I hated that whole scene. It wasn't even about Leorio being a pervert. All right, the next scene was basically...
Well, before they even start the next round, she walks out there, touches this nigga on the neck and said, he's still alive, y'all. So that match ain't over yet. So y'all better get out here and kill him because the rule clearly stated death or they give up. He ain't give up. He's just unconscious. So either you kill him or the next round don't start. And then now we sit here and wait.
Then Leorio was like, I'll go out there. It was like, no, it's their match. You can't do that.
You can't interfere. And Piccolo was like, I don't kill people. I'm not killing him. It's like, I don't have anything against killing. I just don't want to kill him.
Yeah, right before I was about to knock him out, he was surrendering. Y'all just didn't hear it, which I believe that was extremely selfish of Piccolo.
Extremely selfish.
I felt like the game was just... I hated the game so much because when he was just like, well, I bet that this nigga is awake. And
but the rules of the next round was betting on things.
On time.
Betting time on certain circumstances or conditions. So Leorio decided to bet that the dude was actually
conscious.
And so when he made that bet, he went over there, touched his neck, was like, I was right.
Well, no. The first one was he was alive.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
And then I think,
And then the next one was he actually knocked out, or was he
was he
faking
conscious?
it?
Was he conscious or unconscious?
Yes.
And if you remember this part, Leorio bet first that he said, I bet that he's conscious. And then she said, well, how will you prove that? There's no way you can prove that. And then that's when he grabbed him and put him to that corner. And then this bitch was like, okay, well, I got the next bet. I bet that he is conscious. That was bullshit right there. And I literally skipped the episode after that. Not gonna lie to you.
Leorio knew that he was still conscious, but you were willing to bet that he wasn't. And you were willing to drop him, I don't care about that, but you knew that he was conscious and you were willing to give up that time. That was a dumb play in my opinion. But I understand them just wanting to move on to the next stage of that particular section. So he wanted to get it over with and then make up for that loss by winning the next rounds, which he really showed how old he was in that next part. She made a bet saying, hey, you want to bet it from a man or woman? And Core Pickle right then and there said, Leorio's going to lose because he's going to want to fondle her. Even he's going to say that she's a man, and then she's going to say I forget who said what, but it ended with Leorio losing because he wanted to be a horny ass pervert and feel all over that girl. The one after that was
Paper, scissors, rock.
Paper, scissors. And they read this nigga Leorio like a book.
Mm-hmm.
He did awful during that part.
And I'll say, I know Tompa was really getting in on Leorio because, like, he was just like, nigga, you made us lose 50 hours. But let's be real, nigga. Like, and Tompa made a very, very compelling argument. He was like, bro, you made us lose 50 hours. He said, well, you quit. He was like, but mine didn't take long.
At all. It didn't. Mine was literally a second. You get wasted 50 hours. So shut the fuck up. I only sacrificed a turn. You sacrificed 50 hours. Because you wanted to grope a bitch and you overthought a lot of shit and she played you like a book. Even Core Pickle was calling every move you were going to make because you were that blatantly obvious because she got in your head.
Yes.
Dumb bitch.
Now, the fifth round was versus a serial killer who used to rip people's bodies apart barehanded.
Bare fucking hands.
Against Core Pickle.
This nigga was so threatening. When they took them shackles off of him and he was walking towards the ring, all he did was finger the wall and was tearing brick apart barehanded.
And I'll say they really built that up. And you remember how all before this shit, like Leorio was talking cash shit to Killua. Mm-hmm. Cash shit. That shit changed when this nigga literally, like, bro, as soon as the fight started, Killua literally took this nigga's heart out and used his shirt as a bag.
And just held it, dangled it in front of him. Dude was like, why do I feel so cold? Looked over at his hand, at his heart beating in Killua's hand. I was like, that's mine. Give it back. Give it.
Fell down and he was like, take your doggy bag.
He literally just gently placed his heart back in his hands like, it's yours.
Mm-hmm. He said, yep, and I gave it back to you. I was like, that is crazy.
That is fucking sickening.
Now, I know after that scene, they had to wait the 50 hours because they lost 50 hours because of Leorio.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they did this. Instead of just showing the time pass, because they do go to them showing how they passed the time, they show fucking Hisoka versus this nigga who used, like, what was it, like, four blades?
So 4 blades, yeah. He said, my scars still hurt from what you did to me last time. Why would you want to fight him again?
Bruh, but
he let you live.
But yo, the way that Hisoka was fucking dodging was fucking beautiful. That was art.
It was. I'm mad that this dude was like, once Hisoka caught them blades, and he was like, it took me 6 months to master that. How could he do that? Like, nigga, you suck.
Well, my thing is he probably was catching the blades, but catching the blades without getting cut.
True.
That nigga had cuts all over his hands. That nigga trained. But, you know, Hisoka, and of course, you don't even know if that was, because, you know, later on we found out that his nen was bungee gum. You don't even know if it was influenced by bungee gum.
Yeah, you honestly, you have no idea, or if he literally just caught them bitches.
I think he just caught him, though.
Hey, he seems the type.
Yeah.
He'd be like, man, this ain't shit. Got him.
And then killed him. So then after that, you see Hisoka leave, and then you find out Hisoka was the first one to like finish the tower.
Which was expected.
Yes.
Very much expected.
Number 2 was nails in a nigga head, nigga.
And number 3 was the monk.
The ninja.
Was he? Oh, yeah, ninja. That's right.
Yeah.
I say he was a monk. He was a ninja.
Yeah. So, and then you see how they passed that 50 hours. And then afterwards, they had, did they go straight to that or did they have other things?
I don't remember if they had other things, but I know the last thing they had to do was that majority rule on whether to go through the shorter path, which would not take nearly as long, but the longer path would take hours, and they only had 1 hour to go.
Yeah, they said that the longer path would have took them like 30 hours.
And the shorter path would have been right then and there, right there at where they needed to go.
So, and all right, let me if you build the scene up, the room that they go into is a room with all these weapons, and if you look on the left side of the wall, is these placement with the shackles. So they just like, okay, if y'all want to use the left one, which is the closer path that y'all can go straight to finish this tower, 2 people have to latch themselves onto this wall before this door even opens. I love, just like how you said earlier, Killable was just like, I'm letting y'all niggas know. Y'all see how I just killed this nigga right there. I doggy bag a nigga heart. Me and Gon is making it. Everybody's like, all right, so it's between us 3. Straight up. And then Tanpa, I love that he stayed the person he was. He was like, nigga, I'm going too.
He grabbed that axe and went at Leorio's throat.
Bruh.
He's like, I'm going through. I don't give a fuck. I'm fighting y'all niggas. And then when he swung and it hit the wall, Gon was like...
Well, first off, he swung and hit the wall. Well, he swung and hit the floor, and you see Gon and Kurapika both look surprised. But you see like Gon look a little surprised because of the swing, but then he was looking, and then the other time he swung and missed Leorio, and then it hit the wall. And that's when Gon was just like, I got an idea. So
Which was genius of that boy.
So, and then right then it just shows immediately. It cuts to the scene where they're at the bottom of the tower, and then you see the door opening, and then you see Gon, Killua, and Kurapika.
Yeah, they're the first 3 to come.
So then they kind of put you in this guise that those 3 chose that door. And then it goes back. Then later on, you see Tanpa and Leorio fighting to see who's going to make it through the door. So then you see all 5 of them made it. So Gon, seeing that the wall could be damaged, thought of the idea to use the weapons was in the room, choose the door that all 5 of them can go, but it would take longer, but break through the wall to go to the left door so they can immediately win. Which, just like Kurapika said, for him to see that, come up with a good strategy immediately, tells you that he uses everything right, like that he can process right there to figure it out.
Situational awareness.
Excellent.
And environmental awareness. That boy is smart.
I thought that was very, very, very fucking good.
Yeah, that tower was my second favorite part of the exam. That shit was excellent.
So I like that.
We can probably save the other shit for next week, though.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a whole full pod in itself. So this will be part 1 of us explaining the Hunter exams, because we have been going an hour and a half now. Yes. Part 2 will be next week, folks, where we talk about the meat and potatoes of the Hunter exams,
which I thought is the greatest part of the Hunter exam.
Yes, the next part is my favorite part of the Hunter exams.
Yes,
that shit was cold. But yeah, we will get into that next week because it's getting late and I got a lot of editing to do. Until next week, folks.
Until next week.